All right. What is up, everybody? It's your boy Ray, and welcome to another fantastic episode of This Week in Reselling. I am your co-host. I am also joined by my other co-host here, Dustin.
What's up?
Dustin. And we're joined by our guest today. We have David with I know you go on your Instagram and your TikTok is who is David, right?
Everything I do is under the name Wait, Who is David?
Wait, Who is David? That's right.
Yeah.
I like that. How'd you come up with that?
Well, at one point in time, I was trying to rebrand myself, trying to figure out how I wanted to present myself to the world. And, well, for starters, I needed to make a brand. So I thought of creating the Wait Who brand. I eventually ended up registering it as an LLC. But the Wait Who brand itself, it's basically, I wanted to, not just because the thing is with liquidation, with what I do, I provide people merchandise, but I also wanted to make it much more than that with TikTok and everything I do. So I wanted a brand that can help people get to where they want to be and become the people they want to become. So the question is, it's not just Wait, Who is David? It's Wait, Who is Dustin? Wait, Who is Ray? You know, you have to ask yourself, who are you and who do you want to be? And what can my brand do to help you get there? Whether I provide motivational videos, resources, merchandise, TikTok, business consultation, stuff like that. You know, I'm basically like a middleman that wants to help you get to who you want to be and where you want to be. So it's Wait, Who are you? Basically, is essentially is the question. But that's how I came up with my username, Wait, Who is Dave.
Yeah, man, that's deep. That's legit. Yeah, that's awesome. But David, for the people that may not know you, and I'm so glad that you came on. I know that I don't know how we even came across on TikTok. Maybe you're on my For You page, and then I ended up following you, and you ended up following back, which we kind of do. I wouldn't say we do the same thing, but you do it too on like the wholesale level. Like Dustin and I will go to these liquidation stores, and then we'll buy the goods. But you're doing it. You're buying it straight from the source. You're the wholesaler. You're buying and selling these liquidation pallets. Which is super interesting, and that's one of the reasons we want to have you on for the audience that we have here, the resellers, the people that are doing high side hustles. If they want to start doing these buying and selling these liquidation pallets, you would be the perfect person to have on the podcast and just kind of ask those questions. But for the people that might not know you, David, just give us a little brief intro for you. Like, give us your origin story. How you started into, this, I guess, wholesale reselling world. Let us know, man.
Oh, yeah, that's
it's a pretty big question, man. But, we got the time, and, we're here to have a good time. So let us know, dude.
Okay. So the way I had my start in what I do today, it's a little bit different from what most people might have experienced. For starters, a lot of people might not know this, but I was a high school dropout at one point. I had to continue working full time during school because my mom got let go from her job, and I was the one having to pay rent so that we can stay afloat and weren't homeless. I was doing a bunch of things besides jobs. Whenever I was in school, I would be that kid who would have the duffel bag full of candy, trying to sell candy on the low to people to make extra money to make money. And again, I think that's kind of where it all stemmed from. I did eventually end up getting my high school diploma, ended up going to college. It wasn't for me, but throughout the whole process of everything, I did end up discovering and researching and because what happened is along after, through high school and a few years afterwards, I started working for what was Zappos.com, corporate office for Zappos.com, which is a subsidiary of Amazon. And one thing I've always asked myself is what happens to all the things that everybody returns, because I know they don't get put back on the shelves. And I've always wondered that kind of situation. So, and then of course with me throughout the years, I've been trying every single type of business concept or any idea out there. I've done pyramid schemes. I've done drop shipping. I've done FBA. FBA is a good one. The thing is, it's just not for me specifically. It's just a smaller tier version of what I like to do. So essentially, I've tried everything that there is to pretty much try out there. And then when I finally started researching more about what happens to merchandise after it gets returned, that's when I started to research more into what's called the secondary market for corporate companies. And it's basically, in other terms, liquidation returns. What happens to the things that people don't want? And just by doing that, I ended up researching and getting to know people and getting to understand how this market works, where you can get merchandise, how you can get it, how you can resell it, where to resell it, through trial and error and trial and error. I ended up learning all of this stuff to the point where eventually I was able to quit. Well, not quit. I got fired because I stopped showing up to work because I continued. I was a full-time reseller. But the thing is, back then, I used to go around driving around the city, going to Goodwills, going to Salvation Army. I would pick up a bunch of the nice little things I would be able to flip. My hobby was going to stores and flipping stuff for fun. And I was like, I really love this. How can I do this more? And it got to the point where I started buying liquidation pallets, which is basically just buying, wholesale merchandise for super cheap and flipping it. That's all it is. And I got so obsessed with it that I started doing it daily to the point that the amount of money I was receiving every single day from sales started accumulating up every day, and I was earning more chilling at home on my own time, eating and drinking food, or you know what I mean. And then on my own time, doing all of that stuff, then I was getting paid to work 8 hours straight for somebody else. So I stopped showing up to work. I got let go. Even when I got fired, the paperwork that they gave me, I ended up framing it on my wall. So, for me, that's a little celebration. I got fired, but who celebrates getting fired? To me, it's a good thing. So I got to the point where I started reselling so much every single day that it made so much money that I was able to let go of my actual job. But what happened is I was living in an apartment. I'm still living in my apartment. What happened was I started accumulating so much merchandise from selling so rapidly that, because every time I would buy, let's just say, a pallet, I would sell the few things that sold quick, and I would be left with hundreds of items left over. And the thing is, I would do this weekly. So imagine stacking up hundreds of items in your small apartment weekly. It got to the point where I had so much merchandise that I was able to start selling pallets and flipping it in pallets. And then from there, I got, I started showing it on TikTok, promoting it. I got bigger. Now I buy truckloads, sell them. I flip. Like, it's funny. After this, I'm actually about to go drop off 8 pallets to somebody. So that's why I'm kind of
That's awesome.
But it's basically it. It's just wholesale flipping. It's just like a really advanced, I guess, version of liquidation, and that's all it really is. And it's really interesting. But where I'm at right now is nowhere close to where I want to be. I'm blessed and I'm lucky that I have had the opportunities to meet all of the people who own every single liquidation store around my area, every liquidation company. I've promoted for them. Some of them are my friends and mentors. So these people are making like multi-millions of dollars every single year. And I'm just like, you know what? How can I learn to be more like them? So they're teaching me information along the way as I'm learning and, trial and error. But that's basically how I got to where I'm at today. It's just the fuel to get somewhere better. I've always been searching for something to do my whole life. Like I said, I went through every pyramid scheme, everything that there is out there. So when I finally found something that works, I went crazy at it, and it's doing good.
That's awesome, dude. I got several questions on that. You touched on a lot of things there. I have some questions, but before we get into that, I want to say hi to some people in the chat. We have Marie. She says hello. Good to see you, Marie. And guys, if you guys have any kind of questions for David, make sure to put them in the chat so we can answer them. Because, this guy's here. He's here for us. So if you have any questions, let us know. We have Sherilyn. Sherilyn, I believe that's how you say that. Good to see you. We have Yard Sales and Dreams. Good to see you. And let's see here. Yard Sales and Dreams says, I kind of like selling vintage stuff. I don't think I could get into returns. I have to be interested in what I'm selling. What do you guys think? Does it matter for you? We'll go through the gambit. Dustin, do you want to answer that question?
Pull that up real quick.
Yeah.
See, that's what we were doing at first. We were trying to look for stuff we were interested in when it came to, going to Give Me 5, whatever, Goodwill. But as we, I guess, got more experience, we broadened our knowledge and just stuff we got to go into buying freaking Revlon brushes and selling those on eBay. It was hard at first trying to just go for stuff we're interested in. So we kind of just had to look past that and just scanned everything that we thought was money. We scanned it all.
Yeah. And I agree with Dustin. I know at first, it's fun to sell the stuff that you're interested in. And then once you broaden your horizon, you get to be interested in more things because you know that they're making money. But one of the things that I'm not interested in is like women's clothing. So I would never sell women's clothing, things like that. But David, if you want to answer that question, I mean, you have way more experience than we do in, buying returns and selling vintage stuff, things like that. Like you said, you used to go to Goodwill's and flip things on the side. So what do you think about that question?
Well, because I've taught people and I've mentored a lot of people to get into liquidation returns. One thing that I do teach is because with liquidation returns, you can buy specifically what you want sometimes. So like if you wanted to sell shoes, you can do shoes. If you want to sell electronics, clothing, if you want to do beauty supplies, like it's whatever market you want to get into. But the thing is, I do always kind of recommend if you want to begin reselling, let's say even in liquidations or returns, right? I would always recommend going into something that you would like. Even when you go to the store, it's something like you look for things that you know knowledge of. So always go into something that you don't mind doing. Because like imagine if I were to buy, like he said, a pallet of women's clothing. You think I know what I'm gonna do with a pallet? I don't know what to price these kind of things, and I don't understand this kind of stuff. So but if you were to give me like a pallet of electronics, I'm more in tune with that. I know what things kind of go for. I love to dig more into it. So always go for things that you really are interested in, and they catch your attention. Stuff that you wouldn't mind learning about, because with returns you do have to fix things sometimes, and you do have to polish them up to make them good to be able to resell. But even if you sell on an individual level, like I said, it's really you search for things that you know of and things that you really are interested in. That way you're more happy doing reselling.
Yeah. And then Marie says, she has a great point. If I can get stuff for literally pennies, I don't care until I get overloaded on certain items, and I try to avoid them unless it's a good of a deal. So it's kind of a cycle, which is kind of like buying liquidation. Some of the items, like you said, may not, for you, they may not interest you. But if you're literally getting them for pennies and like flipping them for, let's say $10, it's completely worth it. But a quick question for you, David. How did you even like have the idea to buy like wholesale pallets? Like, is it just like one thing after the other? Like you started flipping and you're like, oh, I can do this, I can do that. Or like you said you have some mentors. Maybe they're like, hey, David, why don't you try this? I'm making good money on this. Let's try doing this. Or like, how did you even like get the idea of doing it?
Yeah, how to do it. So it was kind of like a buildup of small details and small things adding up to it. So it was back when I was working with Zappos/Amazon, when I started trying to think about what happens to all this stuff, because I did customer service and people always did returns with me over the phone. And I was thinking like, what happens to all the stuff that does get returned? So I started Googling and researching and doing a bunch of like just questioning things that people don't really question. Like when has anybody ever asked you where all of the returns go? Nobody really thinks of that by themselves. You just assume that they get back on the shelf somehow. So which that was one of the biggest lies I've ever thought to myself, because most of it never ends up back on shelves. So I started researching, and that's how I told you how I ended up getting more information on what's called the secondary market for stores. It's just the actual retail like name for that they give it. It's the secondary market for retail stores. So just by researching that, I started looking into it, and then I started seeing if like anybody around me sold pallets. I started looking up YouTube videos, basically researching. Everything I did was completely for free. Like just by tapping a couple words into Google, YouTube, studying and researching, seeing that other people at the time, right now, liquidation is a big, massive thing. It's becoming bigger. And back then, though, like when I was barely starting it, it was unknown. Nobody really knew about it. And it was a real kind of a quiet thing. Now you see bin stores and a bunch of crazy stores almost in every city, in every location, a bunch of crazy stuff like that now. It's becoming more popular. But back then, it's literally just I started questioning things and thinking outside the box a little bit. I wasn't friends with any of those mentors that I have now back then. I only met them because of TikTok. The way I met you through TikTok, and the way I met a bunch of other flippers and people who resell and do a bunch of content like that, or even pallet flippers as well. I met everybody mainly through TikTok because I started posting and teaching the world about it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Another question that I have, David, you kind of touched a little bit on this. You said you tried out pyramid schemes, and we actually had someone on last week, Lauren, and she's actually a stay-at-home mom of 3, and she's like the prime person that these pyramid schemes / multi-level marketing companies like target. She's a stay-at-home mom. She lives in Georgia. You know, she's real like country and pretty, you know, like all this stuff. So it's like, what is the difference from someone that might, you know, are doing these MLMs to someone that is reselling on the side, in your opinion? Like, what was the difference for you where people, I mean, people do make money doing MLMs for sure, but for you, you said, let's not do this. Let's go this route. Like, what was the difference for you?
Well, the thing is, the general thing with multi-level marketing companies, it's whether it's Forex, right? Because there's the big one right now, which is Forex. There's like any of those beauty companies where they sell beauty supplies or whatever. What's another? Amway. Amway's the one I was in. Actually,
that was the big one.
This poster is from Amway. Back when I was in Amway, I blacked out the Amway on the bottom. I just love the sign itself. It says "Do what you love," and it's very ironic because, you know, now I'm actually doing what I love. So the main difference between what I do now, it's not even, because what I do now is completely separate from any pyramid scheme, because with pyramid schemes, the way they work is it's 2 things. One, it's the information or the knowledge, the product that you're selling or giving, right? So let's just use Amway for an example. They sell physical products, online products, and you can basically make money by selling product. Like if I were to sell products to you guys, right? That would make me money. And you can constantly do that and grow through that route. But the main thing that makes any business, you know, that's a regular business. I can sell you guys anything in that, and I'm not a pyramid scheme. What makes a company a pyramid scheme is the fact that you can recruit people under you. And what happens is, it's like if I recruited Dustin to be part of my company, and anytime he makes a sale, I make money off of that sale. And then anytime he recruits somebody, I make money off of that person's sale too.
Yeah.
And that's basically the pyramid scheme part of things. I'm not saying that it doesn't work or that it's not like a valid thing. What sucks about most pyramid company, or MLMs, I'll just say, is the fact that you are supposed to sell a product that is given to you, not what you want to do. It's not really, it's basically like everything gets put in front of you. You're supposed to sell it to people, whether it's, you know, your Forex program or whether it's Amway products. And then on top of that, you have to focus on recruiting people so that they can get stuck in the trap of having to recruit more people. If not, they won't make money. And then the same thing, it just keeps going. That's all it is to me. It's just a cycle of having to trap people in so that you can get more people in. And like I said, I've done like 3 pyramid schemes before I ever did any of this, before I did FBA, before I did drop shipping. It's just something that like I said, it's not that it doesn't work. It's just that it doesn't let you fall in love with the product that you're selling, because the product that you're selling it's somebody else's product, and it's all money going into somebody else's pocket at the end of the day. It's not all going to you. It's not all about your product. It's not about your brand. It's not even your brand. You're just another piece of the puzzle in like this big triangle.
Yeah.
That's all it is to me. And
I guess, like you started your own business, you know, selling these pallets. So it's like you're your own brand. You're not, you know, pushing somebody else's brand, somebody else's products. It's like you're your own boss, basically, you know? Mm-hmm. So Marie's got a great question. You mentioned you're currently living in an apartment, but she says, so if I live in an apartment, how do you get pallets delivered? That's a great question, Marie.
Yeah. So with the thing is, I started in apartments, and here's the thing. I live upstairs. I used to unveil my pallets and bring them up one by one and get boxes of everything. It was let me remove that. I used to get a bunch of stuff, bring it upstairs, and just store it here. But I have 3 garages now, and I have 2 shared warehouses with a bunch of people in town. So we all share warehouses, and I'm friends. Like I said, because of TikTok, I'm friends with like some of the biggest liquidation companies out here. So we have shared warehouses. I have 3 garages. Nice. And on top of that, my box truck can store 16 pallets, double stacked inside as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you're saying, you know, like Marie was asking, how do I buy these pallets? Where for you, you're like, I started in my apartment, I broke them down, moved them upstairs, and then from there, after you started growing, making money, you partnered up with some other people that do the same. You share a warehouse, you share garages, all that. It's like a growing process.
Yeah, but even then, it's like most people don't have the opportunity for that. All you really need to do liquidation, if you want to like scale it up, it's just space. That's all you need is just space to store stuff. Before I had warehouses and before I had like shared warehouses or garages, I would pay my aunt literally $100 every single month to use her backyard as a storage temporarily. And I still use it. It's still there. Because her backyard stores like at least 80 pallets. It's that big. And
that's crazy.
And it's again for $100. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's a hustle, guys. So get out there and hustle for sure. We have our friend, the legend, Meg Sells is in the building. Good to see you, Meg. She was actually
Let me
live.
grab my charger. 1 sec. I'm gonna.
Yeah, no problem. Meg was actually live on TikTok a little bit ago, and now she's joining us. So we're good to see you, Meg. But so now that David stepped away for a little bit, but this is a good time because this will transition to our people's favorite segment on the show. Wouldn't you say, Dustin?
I would say so. It's got to be everybody's favorite.
Yeah. So
favorite,
David, this is everyone's favorite segment on the show. This is Overrated, Underrated, where we give you 10 topics, 5 reselling related, 5 not reselling related, and you tell us, in your opinion, if they're overrated and underrated. But before we get into that, David, do you ever get any Funko Pops in any of these pallets that you purchase?
Oh yeah, all the time. Anything that's available on Amazon or Walmart, I get it. And the thing is, what sucks is because they just throw everything in these pallets. Sometimes the boxes are kind of like squished, bent, crushed. It's ugly, but I have gotten them sometimes. I don't remember the characters, but I've gotten them. I know that you're big on Funko, right?
Yeah, I'm big on Funko for sure. And then one of the reasons that we're big on Funko, David, is that we have a sponsor of the podcast is Poppin' Off Toys. They're a local Funko vendor here in Nashville. They're one of the best, in my opinion. And these aren't going to be Funko returns, David. These are going to be pristine Funko boxes, pristine Funko sodas. Anything Funko is here. And if you use the code Nashville Flippers, you actually get 10% off. They do pre-orders on all the good stuff. They actually have mystery boxes as well. And then they are guaranteed to come into your door, David. No crushed boxes, no loose characters, bubble wrap. They're collectors, so they know what it takes to ship a perfect Funko right to your door. So, guys, if you ever want to purchase any Funko Pops, make sure to go to poppinofftoys.com and use the code Nashville Flippers. It's actually down in the description below. So, do you collect Funko Pops at all, David?
No, I used to be more on the Pokemon side, but Funko Pops, I have some friends who do. They always go into a lot of the stores near me, trying to raid them out of all the good stuff that they have. But it's cool to see that you can get them on that website and just get them sent directly to your house. Again, I like how the website said that they are collectors and they know, like, so it kind of reassures you knowing that, like, when they send stuff to you, like right there. It says, so we know, what does it say? So we know how to take care of your, that's so reassuring. I love that.
Yeah, dude, they just had some crazy Funko Pops just get traded into their store. They haven't made it into their website yet. They're still going through it. Like Funko Pops that are worth thousands of dollars. So,
oh my goodness.
So guys, if you use the code Nashville Flippers, you actually get 10% off of whatever is on the website. So it's awesome. Tell your friends, David, so they don't have to run everywhere. They can just go directly to that website, you know?
That's true. I'll go ahead and I'll let them know. For
sure. So Meg Sells says she loves this segment of the show. And then Marie says, Side, how close are you to getting monetized? That is a great question, Marie. We're actually 120 watch hours away from getting monetized on YouTube. I checked it this morning. So hopefully by the end of the week, we'll get there. So if you have friends, Marie, if anybody that's on here currently listening to us, share it out. get more people on here, and that's definitely going to help us with our watch time. So, without further ado, overrated, underrated. David, first one, eBay.
Oh,
Ooh, got it right there.
Okay. You guys might be mad at me. I think eBay is overrated.
Let's go. Let us know why. Look at Dustin leaving. He's
done.
leaving.
Done.
Okay. All right. Here's why. I think eBay is I don't know, man. It's because here's the thing. My experience with eBay might be different from everybody else's. I think eBay is overrated because of how simple it is to sell the exact same merchandise or the exact same stuff on other platforms, as in, like, let's say Facebook or OfferUp. The only thing I like about eBay is the fact that you can ship things that are over 20 pounds, as to where everywhere else, like on Facebook or OfferUp, I think it is limited to 20 pounds. But other than that, to me, eBay feels somewhat of like, it's so strict now that it's kind of like FBA in a way, with their restrictions and their rules and regulations, and with all the customers that try to scam you and all that. It's just, to me, eBay back then was a really good thing, back when it was much more loose. Now it's just, I think it's just very overrated, knowing that, like, because it takes like 10 minutes per post, something like that, to me, like, to make a big post on eBay, like, from scratch. Even if you were to do it as quick as you can, it still takes super long compared to what OfferUp is, which is like click, 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 post, description, bam, that's it, done. And then it gets posted to the entire United States within like a matter of minutes. And like, I think it's just because back then, like I said, I come from selling a lot of things every day. And with time, eBay was not it. It was, to me, I only sold things that were like $50 and over on eBay.
Wow. Okay. Nice. Wow. Marie,
Sorry.
Marie sounds like she's agreeing with you. You know, she's got some hand clap emojis here. So she might be agreeing with you for sure. So next one up, Dustin, you want to take number
Next
2,
one.
the evens, my friend.
Next one, overrated, underrated. Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler is underrated. I wish he would make more films. He needs more films.
I know.
I think NBA needs to draft him. Just saying.
The NBA.
Put him on the Lakers.
On the Lakers.
What's your favorite Adam Sandler movie, David?
I think it's an old one. It's called Click. Have you heard of it?
Really? That's your favorite one out of all the Adam Sandler
Well,
movies?
the thing is, growing up, we had the DVD for that, and the thing is, we were poor, so I just kept rewatching it.
That's awesome. That's great. That holds a special memory in your heart then.
Yeah, for me it does. I know it's not the best movie, but it's just nostalgic to me.
Okay, nice. I want to know, everyone in the chat, let us know what your favorite Adam Sandler movie. Dustin, what's your favorite Adam Sandler movie?
Gotta go Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore.
Oh, okay.
But
that's a good one.
I really enjoy Grown Ups. That's a great one.
Okay. I'm more of a water.
Water. That's so
Billy
big.
Madison or Waterboy.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's tough.
He's in some golden.
Yeah, that's tough for sure. So next one up, David, overrated, underrated, buying liquidation online. Like websites like Wholesale Ninjas, liquidation.com, bulk.com, webargain.com.
I think it's underrated. It's underrated. Not enough people are using it, I think, and not enough people know about it as well. It's underrated because it's very easy and it's easily accessible to anybody in the United States. But the thing is, nobody really uses it. Nobody really knows much about it. And because it's online, yeah, it's easier for people to just buy things from their house. But the thing is, people don't know that you can just sign up and you don't need like a business license, like any of that. Like for liquidation.com, you don't need anything. You just sign up, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
So I think it's underrated.
That's a good point for sure. I know that Dustin and they used to send webargain.com used to send us boxes, and then we did like an honest review of the stuff that they put in their boxes, and they quit sending us boxes.
Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, here's the thing. I don't like to talk about bad on other companies, but what is your actual honest review on WeBargain? Because the thing is, they did the same thing with me. They sent me.
I mean, we know what they're doing. You know, they want to send They want to send people. They want to send quote unquote the influencers, the good, because there's actually, I don't remember the video, but they sent like an influencer that had like over 2 million followers on TikTok. This lady, remember I showed you, Dustin?
Yeah.
This lady got ridiculous. Like a Switch, an iPad, like all this stuff. Like they know what they're doing is that they're putting good stuff in these boxes so the customers or the public can see them, and then they just get the crap boxes, right? So what we did is that we have a friend named Robert. He actually, because we had a code and everything, I'm sure you had a code also, that he bought a box using our code, and then he filmed it, and then we reviewed it. So he did end up making money off of that box, but it was hit and miss on some of the stuff that they were sending. So, depending on what your money situation is, I don't know.
It's not it. Yeah. So with We Bargain, I don't think I will ever recommend We Bargain to anybody. They actually, I was in a back and forth email kind of a feud with them because they were wanting me to. They sent me stuff and they kept wanting me to make the videos for it and promote them in a positive way, but because they knew that I run the same full scale business they do. I just don't do the mystery box portion thing anymore. Because the thing is, their mystery boxes that they sell for $125 were equivalent to my $40 mystery boxes. Yeah. Back then, and it's not good. I've seen the stuff that they send. It's all honestly, it's bad, and that's all they do. They send the influencers the pretty big stuff, right? So that people get excited, and once you actually order it, you get all these leftover things that nobody really wants, and you can barely make any profit. It's really just more for them, and their shipping time frames are like 4 months, like super delayed because they're so not organized. Their customer service is non-existent. You leave hate comments, bad comments, anything that's slightly bad on their TikTok, on their website, on the email. They don't read it. They delete it. Their live streams, they delete all their comments. It's just a bad company. That's all it is. Bad company.
Well, they're not sending us boxes anymore, so that's the reason.
Yeah, same here.
That's the reason why.
In the liquidation world, to all of us, like to all the companies, we see them as like Slytherin, I guess you can say, compared to everybody else. Slytherin, like think of yeah, we really look at them as Slytherin type, like somebody in the Slytherin house, like from Harry Potter
fan.
Dang, okay.
I'm not saying Slytherin is bad. They're just snakes, like real snakes in the business world.
Okay, dang, okay. Well, there you go, guys. Don't buy anything from WeBargain.com.
No.
So, Marie said that her favorite Adam Sandler movie is The Wedding Singer. I completely forgot about that one. That one is actually fantastic. And Jesse says, "Don't mess with the Zotan." I've never seen that movie, so I can't touch on that. But I might need to watch it. So next one up, overrated, underrated. Dustin, number 4.
Overrated, underrated. And I can kind of answer this one because I'm not a fan of it. But baseball, even though I'm rocking a Braves hat, that's about the only team I like. But still,
I think it's properly rated, mainly just because, well, I'm not a baseball person either. I'm more of a hockey person here in Las Vegas, just because the Knights. But I think baseball is properly rated. It's a good sport, nothing wrong with it. I think it's just not enough fan base, right? So that makes it kind of underrated. But at the same time, it's a little bit overrated because, well, actually. And I don't know. I don't even know. It's just been out there for so long that, like, you know what? I never mind. I changed my mind. It might be underrated because baseball cards, sports betting is a good thing still. Like, a lot of people make money off of it. If you're looking to make money off of it, it's underrated. The sport itself is properly rated.
Jesse said, "Baseball is a sport?" Question mark.
I can never finish a game. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I lose interest very quick.
Oh, for sure. It's kind of like bowling,
I could watch bowling. Give me some bowling. Come on, you kidding?
And then, what is it? I Am Nobody, too, says baseball is history, he says.
Dang, nobody likes baseball.
I think
it's a history.
I read somewhere that the MLB won't let, like if you don't own any kind of rights to baseball, like you can't like upload anything having to do with MLB. You know, like let's say like Dustin and I will upload like a baseball highlight on like let's say Barstool Sports or something like that. Like they can't have permission to upload it, and they'll take it down. It's something weird, so it's like you can't get it out to like the younger audience. You know, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but
sense.
You know,
I don't think I've seen Bleacher Report or anybody like that post really much baseball.
Yeah, because I think there's a weird rule. It's like I don't know how that is. So
maybe with their low fan base, they're not making enough money, so they charge everybody who wants to post. I don't know.
It's crazy.
Who knows?
Let's see. Marie says I can only bowl after 5 or 6 adult drinks. I heard that. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Any sport where you can at least drink a beer, I'm so down for that. Darts, golf. Bowling, cornhole. I don't know what else.
Golf, you got to go with golf. Golf all day.
There you go.
That's not one you can drink and drive.
That's
you're right. That's illegal.
That's funny. The Amazing Jess says Olympic curling is better sport than baseball. Got that right. That little broom.
Mm-hmm.
So
that friction, man. You got to have that friction action.
That's right. So next one up, Jesse, overrated, underrated, liquidation bin stores.
They are extremely underrated.
Okay.
Liquidation bin stores, we actually are barely starting to get some out here in Las Vegas. Bin stores are extremely underrated because all bin stores are is basically people buying these big pallets and they just separate everything into big aisles and everything is severely underpriced, as you've seen like in your videos how you go to bin stores and you always pick out good finds for like what, $5, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So because of that, I think liquidation stores are extremely underrated when it comes to the reselling world, or even for people who just want to shop around. You will never find you'll probably find some weird stuff, but you'll never find any bad deals in liquidation stores, especially if you go to the ones where, let's say, like everything like on, I don't know, Friday is $5. After that, it's 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. You know, there's places that do that kind of stuff. You'll never go wrong at those places.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, go ahead, Dustin.
Now, do you think it's always been a thought of mine? Like, I think the bin stores just one day just no more disappear. Like, I know it's too good right now, but do you think just down the road?
Will it disappear? The only way I think bin stores will disappear is if there was another pandemic. Because bin stores are all physical, in person, digging around, people going crazy like ants on like piece of food or something, you know?
Yeah.
So the only way I can see that happening is if something were like dramatic were to happen where people just can't do that anymore, like with the pandemic. But other than that, I don't see anything really taking it out unless something better than a bin store opens up. Which I don't even know what would be better than a bin store that already underprices things ridiculously. You know, like I don't know what the next biggest thing after that would be. It would be a good conversation topic. I just don't know what it would be right now.
That's interesting. Right. Okay. Just real quick off the top of my head, I think the only way that they would go away is that so many people are competing to buy those liquidation pallets that the price skyrockets. And I don't know if you noticed the pallets skyrocketing, but then the items won't be as good, so people don't want to go, and then it just like disappears. You know, that's just me like thinking out loud, maybe.
Well, here's the thing. Actually, you would think that the price for pallets would skyrocket. It actually, how do I explain? Because I can motivate, let's just say 100 people to buy a pallet. The thing is, the price of the pallet's going to stay the same because what's going to happen is these companies are already selling thousands and thousands and thousands and, you know, truckloads of pallets, right? Regardless. The thing is, I can sell pallets to 100 people. That doesn't mean that 100 people are going to consistently now become full-time resellers. The thing is, these people buy one pallet and maybe that's all they do for the next 3 months, you know? So the thing is, it's not like they're going to impact the market severely. If each one of those 100 people were to each start buying truckloads, that's an actual issue. That means that we're going to have, you know, too many people buying too much. But the thing is, the chances of somebody in liquidation actually reaching that point where they're buying constant truckloads every single day or every single week is extremely rare. The multimillionaire people that I have here in Las Vegas, they get truckloads maybe every 2 or 3 days. I know that it's possible to get multiple truckloads in one day, every day of the week if you wanted it. But the thing is, you have to be operating at such a massive scale. And even then, right now, the issue is there's actually too much merchandise right now. There's actually so much merchandise and not enough liquidation companies with big enough warehouses to fulfill buying these pallets. So if that does happen anytime soon, the market would have to be crazy. Like there has to be just like a bajillion liquidation stores for that to kind of happen, because it's just there's just too much product.
That's crazy. I've never thought about that. That's great insight for sure.
I like it.
But what about for the product that's like really good stuff? Do they fight like, let's say, consumer electronics, like pallets compared to like a pallets of, I don't know, what would you say, Dustin?
Shoes,
something like that.
So every single wait. So what is your question?
So
Just
has the price gone up of like the good pallets? Let's say like the consumer electronics compared to like a pallet of shoes.
I've seen pallets go up in price in certain places, but they're typically around the same range. It depends it depends on the company you buy from. But no, I have not seen the price of pallets go up, nor have I seen them go down. I've just seen them within a small sort of range. Like a full-size pallet of electronics, like let's say with Vegas liquidation, which is one of my closest friends. She sells liquidation electronics pallets for like $800, and the thing is, they've always been $800. And like shoe pallets have always been $500 for brand new big boxes of shoes, and you can easily make money. It's always been at a set price from what I've noticed. And I've been shopping at these places for years, and even with all the attention that I've been bringing to the world with it, and like all the people, learning it on their own, I've seen everything sort of stay at the same price point from what I've seen. Yeah.
That's okay. Great. Let's see here. Let's say I am nobody says late stage capitalism is insane. Okay, that's funny. Marie says, didn't it go crazy after the liquidation TV show? Can't remember what the name of that TV show. I think it was like on A&E or something like that. Or
channel, History Channel.
History Channel. I know one of her. Can't remember. Family Flips was on that show, and we actually had him on our YouTube channel a while back.
Is it talking about Jeff the Liquidator with his TV show?
Maybe. I don't know, Marie, if you can answer that question. I know that there was one where like they followed multiple people that bought liquidation pallets, and then maybe after the show, people thought, "Hey, I can do this too," and But Justin says that makes sense. Look at all the ships unable to offload the merchandise they're carrying that is already months old and not the newest and best thing out today. That kind of makes sense too. I guess it gets liquidated if it's old stuff.
Give me 5 next spring's about to be loaded.
I know.
Loaded.
Yeah. I can't wait for that. So let's move on to the next subject, David. Overrated, underrated. Number 6, D-Man.
Halloween.
Wait, who?
Halloween.
Oh, Halloween itself. Oh. I was like, wait, I was about to say, who's D-Man?
D-Man, Dustin. Oh, Dustin, my bad, David.
Halloween is. I think Halloween is properly rated. It's just because it's not high or low. It's just a neutral thing to me. It's good, and it's no. It's just neutral. It's good, and it's just the thing is. I mean, I'm too old to go trick or treating, but I still like doing the Halloween like festivities and stuff like that. Halloween parties is fun and all that. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. So it's not over or underrated. It's just properly rated. I think somewhere in between.
Nice. I know Dustin is either. What are you going to be for Halloween, Dustin?
I don't know.
Dustin doesn't know yet.
I don't know.
I was thinking about being a pickle.
A pickle?
Pickle.
A pickle
Ray. That's what I was
Pickle Ray.
thinking about.
Pickle Ray.
Pickle Ray. What about you, David? You got a Halloween costume lined up?
Actually do not. I was thinking of being Danny Phantom.
Danny Phantom from what's that show?
It's just Danny Phantom. That's the name of the show. It's just
okay.
that old Nickelodeon cartoon. All he does is just
yeah.
wear like black and has silver hair. He's supposed to be a phantom ghost. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Or
Marie
that or
said that
Superman.
Halloween is underrated. She just spent the whole weekend decorating the front yard. So, hey.
Oh, I think it's just it is. I think it just might be different depending on your situation. I live in an apartment. I got no front yard. If not, that thing would have spider webs right now for fun.
Dang, we need to go to Marie's house, guys. She's saying that she's passing out full-size candy bars.
Oh, you're at that house.
Isn't there an app for that now? It shows like the houses.
Oh,
I think I saw something on that.
That's a good idea.
That's a great idea, Dustin. Hey, pull up that app, Dustin. We'll go.
I saw it somewhere.
Which leads us to our next underrated, overrated, Dustin. Number 8.
Yeah, number 8. No, you missed number 7.
Did I? You're right. Overrated, underrated, David. Number 7, flea markets.
Really underrated. I used to sell at the flea markets, the swap meets here in Las Vegas. It's extremely underrated. A lot of money can be made there. I used to sell stuff. I used to have a dollar store there. We would make anywhere from like every weekend, again, just off of dollar stuff, I would make anywhere from like 6 to the lowest I've ever gone was like 500-ish a weekend for 3 days. And then the most I think would be like 1,000 like and some change.
For dollar items.
Because I had a dollar store at the swap meet, yeah.
Okay. And that it was the stuff that you were selling there, was it like the stuff that wouldn't sell well from the pallets, or like where did you get the merchandise?
So the thing is, back then I had this clever idea, again, thinking outside the box. I was thinking, because there's a lot of big companies, like not companies, companies, people that sell at the swap meets at flea markets, right? Depending on where you're at, flea markets have big people who have, let's say they buy like 8 posts, right? And then they just build a permanent little structure and they sell stuff there every weekend. A lot of these people buy pallets here in Las Vegas specifically. So I said, wait a minute, it's the same thing. What do these guys do with all of their leftover stuff? So I would go to flea markets and go to these people with a lot of merchandise and say, hey, what do you want for all of your leftovers? And it would usually be a bunch of this tiny stuff, anywhere from $1 to $10 in value. And I would buy pallets on pallets of it for like literally $50, $100 per pallet. And I would basically put it in my own store, sell everything for $1, and these pallets would last me months. Just basically people getting stuff for $1 from it. And each pallet had at least like 1,500 products in it. So it was extremely good money.
We might need to start doing that, Dustin.
Yeah, going to flea markets.
Yeah, set up
Let's do
up some for $1. Marie says that we even give out adult candy bars. I'm not sure what adult candy bars are.
Give adult.
That sounds dangerous.
We even give adults candy bars. Okay. I'm thinking she's giving out adult candy bars. I'm like, what kind of candy bars are you giving out, girl? So
used with rum.
Yeah, I don't know. Dustin. So next one. Overrated, underrated, number 8.
Number 8, Snicker bars. Snickers. Yep.
I think Snicker bars are overrated. Mainly, I've had a lot of Snicker bars growing up. It's not the craziest thing. I think it's overhyped. Commercials have overhyped them. You eat them, yeah, they're great, but the thing is, so is everything else. I love Kit Kats. It's very simple, plain, has a crunch to it. I think Snickers is just going overboard. A lot of caramel, I think it has nougat, I think, right? Whatever it has the nuts inside of it. It has like the chocolate. It's just a lot of stuff. It's very overrated. To me, it's overrated. It might be, yeah. Personally.
Nice.
Like it.
Marie was saying, well, Vegas weather is way better than the rainy PNW. Not sure what that is. I don't know if it's like Pennsylvania Northwest or something like that. We only have Pacific Northwest. Dang it. I should have known that.
No, I just got that too.
Yeah, I should have known that for sure. So I am nobody says, I found a hecking bright, tiny flashlight today. Aurora A8. It's the size of my pinky, rechargeable, brighter than a million suns. That's awesome.
That sounds
hey,
cool.
just make sure you don't point it to your face. So I said, I don't watch commercials. I think Snickers are perfectly rated. Kit Kats are okay, but the big Kit Kat slaps.
Yep.
I'll tell you what slaps are those.
Kinder bars.
What are they, Dustin?
I love me some Kinder bars.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh,
I don't
so
think I've
good.
ever had that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're so good.
Okay. I'm thinking of the Halloween pumpkin Reese's peanut butter cups.
Oh yeah, those are solid too.
Those are good too. Yeah.
Those are legit.
I just had one today.
Those are legit. And we have our boy Swamp Picker is in the building. Good to see you, Swamp Picker. Marie says, wow, that went sideways. I just normal candy bars. I can't afford enough single shot bottles for the adults. That's true. All right. So next one up, overrated, underrated, Goodwill.
Extremely underrated.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think you and me both agree it's extremely underrated when it comes to the amount of stuff you can find there. Anything similar to a Goodwill as well, Salvation Army, blah blah blah, etc. Underrated as heck.
Nice. So last one up, Dustin. Overrated, underrated.
Sriracha.
To me, it's actually overrated. I think sriracha is overrated mainly because, well, it's just honestly to me it's just like any other sauce. It's nothing too crazy to me. It's just overhyped. I do like a lot of the stuff that like merchandise they make. Like I've seen a bunch of cute little things people make of the sriracha bottle or the sriracha brand. But I think it's just the regular sauce, to be honest. Like I think I don't know. It's just it varies, but it's overrated.
Nice.
Personally.
Okay. Awesome. Well, that include that. What am I trying to say? That finishes up. Excuse me. The overrated, underrated portion of the show. Thank you so much, David. So, David, I know that sometimes you may get a little thirsty working on these pallets. And if you get thirsty, make sure you go to thecoldestwaterbottle.com and use the code Flippers, and you'll get 10% off. They sell anything from pillows, coffee, things for your pets, things to keep your water or coffee cold or warm. You can find it here at thecoldestwaterbottle.com. Go check it out. So, David, I got a question for you, my friend. Now that we know what you do with these pallets, we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. I know that we're approaching an hour, but I want to ask you these two really important questions. But for someone that may not know what they're doing, like me, let's say Dustin and I, we come together. We're like, okay, D-Man, let's buy a pallet. Let's buy a pallet. Let's get it. Let's invest some money. How do we even start? Like, where do we buy these pallets? How do you buy your pallets? Let me know, brother.
I think the easiest thing, because the thing is, a lot of people ask these questions. I actually created a liquidation course, 32-minute class on my YouTube channel for that.
There you go.
That's all separate, though. That's all separate. What I would mainly recommend is, for starters, save up anywhere from $300 to $500 just on the side that you're willing to invest for a pallet. Then from there, the next easiest step you can do is, before you purchase anything, it's just simply study and play around with a few websites. Most of them will require you to need a business license. Don't worry about that right now. Just go to liquidation.com. Easiest thing you can do. That website, quickly sign up. You do not need business license, employee numbers, none of that stuff. You sign up, you have your money ready on the side, go to the website, look through all of the locations listed, and all you have to do is look for the one that's closest to you. Because if you can pick up, I always recommend you go and pick up instead of having to pay, like somebody like $200, $300 to ship over a pallet to you. Yeah. So look for your closest location, and you can then start seeing the auctions that are actively listed, and you can get a really good pallet with like $6,000, $7,000 worth of merchandise for anywhere from $300 to $400 to $500. And if you're able to pick it up, good. Take it and resell everything. If you're not able to pick it up, then save up a little bit more for shipping costs. Regardless if you end up paying, $500 for a pallet or $800 for that pallet because of shipping, it doesn't matter. You just received $6,000 to $7,000 worth of merchandise, right? So there's still room for profit. It's just like I said, research, take your time, and if you don't want to do all that, just go on Facebook. Literally, just go on Facebook and just search liquidation pallets, and people around you will more than likely be selling pallets, or in cities close by to you, and you can find them easily as well.
That's great tips. Those are some great tips. Now, when you go to liquidation.com, let's say can you filter from let's say that there's a place like an hour from where we live. Can you filter to where you can only see the auctions for that location that we, let's say we wanted to go and pick up?
Yeah, you should be able to filter everything to just that location. And then from there, you can filter to when the auctions end, how many people are bidding on it, what kind of category of product, whether it's like general merchandise or electronics or computers, stuff. You can filter everything. Everything has subcategories to it.
Nice. Okay. So let's say that I'm not able to go and pick up the pallet and it needs to be delivered. What do I need for that to be delivered? Do I need a pallet jack? Do I need like a lift gate? What do I need for them to be able to deliver these pallets?
Well, if you get the pallet delivered, they will take it right to your door. And since they will more than likely be handling that stuff, they should be able to bring the pallet jack and all that stuff to you. Okay. But if for some reason, for some weird, rare reason, they can't, then what's going to happen is you will either have to have a loading dock, a forklift, or a pallet jack at minimum. And if they do have a lift gate, just have a pallet jack just so you can take it to your house. Because sometimes, with everything being scrambled everywhere, everything's different everywhere in the U.S. Just call them and say, hey, what do I need? You can set up your shipping, what kind of shipping you want, whether you want it directly at your front door or if you want them to just bring the truckload in. If you have a forklift, you tell them that. But you're allowed to arrange your shipping. You're allowed to say when you want it, how you want it delivered, what location you want it delivered, and how they're going to unload it. You can speak to them about that.
Okay, nice. That's really good information. So next question, David, what kind of pallets? Dustin and I. Okay, we're looking to buy pallets. What are the pallets that we're looking for? What are some tips?
If you were barely starting to get into liquidations, I don't recommend you just choose any specific topic or niche category. I would just say choose general merchandise. It's a little bit of everything. You have sometimes a little bit of clothing, home goods, appliances, some all electronics. You have a little cluster of everything, which is, it lets you get a little bit of taste of every single type of category so you can see maybe what you want to keep pursuing, or if you want to just stay in general merchandise, you can keep doing that because, again, there's plenty of profit in almost every kind of pallet that you look for. But I would say general merchandise is the best way to go for anybody who wants to get into pallets or even yourself.
That's awesome. That's a great tip. So the last question, well, I'm going to ask you two more questions because I feel these are good questions, man.
No, you can ask as much as you want.
Perfect. So tips on how to sell the goods in the pallets. So let's say Dustin and I, we follow your advice. We bought a general merchandise pallet. We went to go pick it up, and now we have, let's say, $3,000 worth of merchandise. Half of it is really good stuff that we can sell on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and then the other half is just what are those fidget spinners and one of those pop-it things that the kids are playing with, just 2017 calendars. How do I get rid of the junk?
Okay. Yeah. So that stuff. So you see the small stuff, right? I love that small stuff. The thing is, I mainly prioritize and specialize in only buying that small stuff that is considered junk. Yeah. The thing is, I buy pallets and truckloads of just that small stuff that nobody wants. Because I'm good at selling that specific stuff. That's how I started. Remember how I told you with the swamp meat? I started by buying all the leftover junk people didn't want. To me, that junk, when you have 20 pallets of it, you can do something with it. But the thing is, that leftover stuff, if you want to sell it on an individual level and still get rid of it, the easiest thing I found to doing, so of course, all your big stuff, sell it on Facebook, offer up eBay, big places you can make money quick. Your little stuff, what you're going to do is you're going to take them and you're going to do small bundles. You can literally get small bags of stuff, take pictures of it, still sell it through Facebook, offer up eBay, whatever you want to do. But you can sell them through small bundles. Like if you have a bunch of fidget spinners or a bunch of toys and poppets, make a toy bundle, make it actually a decent price. At that point, you're just trying to get rid of it, so sell it for a decent price. If you have a bunch of kitchen stuff, sponges, a couple spoon set, knife sets, things like that, put it in a little box, take it and sell it as a bundle. I used to do this with a lot of small products back then, where I used to sell I used to sell like keyboards, mouses, mouse pads. I used to get a bunch of random stuff like that. What I would do is I would bundle it together. By bundling it, you can actually put the price a little bit up. Instead of selling these little things for like $1, you can actually price them accordingly to whatever you want to make. But doing bundles was the move back then for me. And if you have that much stuff left over, you can literally throw it in little boxes and sell local mystery boxes just to get rid of it, just for super cheap. Because a lot of this leftover stuff you just want to get rid of. That's the main thing. If you've sold all the big stuff in your pallet, you've more than likely made your money back. The leftover stuff, you have to get creative with the way you get rid of it. You can either, like I said, make mystery boxes, or you can make little bundles of certain niche stuff and sell it online. It's however you want to get rid of it, but you can get rid of it easily by selling it in the way you want to do it.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great information. So are you selling that stuff to, like, how are you selling it? At the flea market, on Facebook Marketplace? Like, how are you selling these mystery boxes?
Well, the mystery boxes, I don't sell them at the moment anymore, but I used to sell them a lot through my own website page. And
Okay.
what I would never really make posts for them on Facebook or OfferUp, but a lot of this small stuff I used to basically get a bunch of these. Again, I had like 30, 40 of these pallets with just that small stuff. And I would just make a bunch of mystery boxes out of them and sell them. But the thing is, if you want to get rid of them on an individual level, just post them on Facebook or OfferUp. Somebody will buy that stuff. People are always looking for fun little deals and stuff like that. Or even in flea markets, you can go to people. What does it sell to a flea market? Oh yeah, look at that person there said, sell it to people at flea markets. That's such a smart idea. You can sell them all these leftover things and say, hey, look, you can sell this stuff for super cheap. And you can always find clients everywhere.
Yeah, that's awesome. Right. So that's some good information there. Mm-hmm. So the last question that we have, David, and thank you so much for coming on. You have, Dustin, wouldn't you agree, the information that David has given us today?
I'm about to go buy a pallet.
A1 steak sauce, baby. It's on like Donkey Kong. So last question, David, for anyone, they may want to start buying and selling pallets. Let's say they're buying pallets and flipping the whole pallet to somebody else, or buying the pallet and then reselling the stuff in the pallet. What are some tips and tricks that you've learned over these years of your experience selling pallets that we can avoid because you've already learned from your quote unquote mistakes, experiences, things to look out for?
So, good question. That is a tough question. Well, you're saying on a higher tier level. So what you're asking is, what are the things you can avoid doing if you begin to sell and flip pallets?
Correct. Big pallets, or like two things. Like what are like if Justin and I are buying pallets and then we're flipping the stuff in the pallet, or if we're buying pallets and then flipping the pallet to somebody else. What are some items? What are some things that come to your head that, like, oh man, I wish I would have known this when I first got started, so I wouldn't have to spend the time, trying to figure this out? Like, what are some things that we can avoid when buying pallets, or things that we need to know so we're not, to make it easier per se?
Okay, so there's generally good things and then there's bad things that I can give you when it comes to pallet flipping. One good tip is, well, for starters, you're going to have to do a trial and error whenever it comes to buying pallets from new people, because until you have a massive, super duper huge company that you can buy directly from Amazon or Walmart, you're going to have to be buying from somebody else who buys the truckloads from them until you're a big enough company. So what this means is you're going to have to rely on other companies, smaller companies, like even people like me who sell pallets. you're gonna have to get pallets from us directly, who we get it from directly from the source. So what I'm saying is you're gonna have to go through trial and error whenever you're buying pallets from other companies and liquidation businesses that sell pallets, because the thing is, there's companies out there that take all the good stuff out and then sell you the leftovers at a super high price. You have to look out for that, because those people will scam you. Look for places that get the pallets directly off of the truck, put them in their warehouse, don't touch them, sell them to you. That's the stuff you want to get, the stuff that's untouched. And then after that, at that point, if you still want to sell pallets, there's different ways that you can sell pallets. Like one way that I sell pallets here, and again, I try to be open with everybody and show everybody this information too. You can buy big pallets, like big pallets full of a bunch of merchandise. And there's actually these half-size pallets you can actually get. You get a big pallet, and you can actually split it into 2 pallets and then sell it back to the public at a good enough price where you're making profit, and then where where they're still getting enough merchandise and the price point is just perfect, where they can make a lot of money off their pallet, but you make enough money off of it as well, to the point where you can now keep continuing that process to buy more and more pallets and keep flipping and flipping and flipping. All you're doing is buying a massive amount of pallets or a massive amount of product, splitting it into smaller quantities that people can still buy at a decent price, that where you make money flipping it, and you can just repeat that over and over and over. That's a good tip. And then another last thing to look out for. It's not really to look out for. It's not really like a trial. 2 things actually. One thing is storage. Watch where you store your stuff. Please remove food from your pallets when you're storing them. You can build ants or rats of a problem in your area. Be careful with that. Next thing to look out for is just weather as well too. If you store in your backyard, please buy tarps. Please. I've had 20 pallets get ruined because of rain. Please avoid that accident. That's a lot of merchandise. And then other than that, I think that's pretty much it for the information I can give you with most of it. Just it's mainly that thing that I said. Be careful with who you buy pallets from. Not everyone is a good seller. Like example, We Bargain, they take the good stuff out. Just be careful with who you buy from, and it's really trial and error. But as you start learning, you will get the hang of it. Yeah.
Nice. Great tips. Those are some fantastic tips. So, guys, if you want to know more about this stuff, make sure you follow David. Wait Who Is David on Instagram. Wait Who Is David on TikTok. His link tree, well, it's kind of like a link tree, is down in the description below. So you can follow him everywhere that he is available. So, guys, thank you so much for showing up. This has always been fun. I know that Marie says she can only jump on Sunday nights. Well, we love having you, Marie. Thank you so much, David, for jumping on, sharing all that awesome information. Really do appreciate it. But anything else for the people that you may not touched on that you want to, tell the people in the interwebs here?
Well, nothing really crazy, not really any information, but I think before I do go, one last thing I think I would like to say is that, like, if you do have, if you are getting tired of your job, or you just really are looking for something different, reselling is definitely always going to be there, and it's always a safe place for you to go to in case you ever wanted to start. It leads to a bunch of tremendous great things. Again, like, look at where you've taken your page, Ray, with reselling, and how far you've brought it, all the attention. The fact that you're doing this right now because you're reselling and doing all this stuff in your spare time and it's fun and you love it. If there's anybody watching this and you really want to get into reselling, I really recommend doing it. It definitely can change your life, and it leads to, it opens opportunities and different doors for people.
I agree with you. I know when Dustin and I first started reselling, we did it for a year, and then we're like, man, we need to share this information to enough people. And we're like, what's the quickest way to do it? So we started a YouTube page, and that's, snowballed into different things, Instagram, TikTok. And we just wanted to, share the info in a fun and entertaining way. So, and we love doing these Sunday night shows to have different people on that are in different areas of reselling that we may not know a lot of, And we learn a ton from it, and hopefully everyone watching and listening to the podcast can also learn from it. But if you guys have any questions for Dustin and I, always make sure to hit us up on all of our social media platforms. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok at the Nashville Flippers. And, of course, if you ever want to send us an email, send it to thenashvilleflippers@gmail.com. And Dustin, I think, just started an OnlyFans page to where you can get pictures of his feet for a small price of $79.99 a week. So
gotta branch out. Gotta
branch out, baby. You know. So guys, thank you for coming on. David, thank you so much, guys. Make sure you follow David on all of his social media platforms. And that's it. So my name is Ray.
My name's Dustin.
And I'm David.
And we'll catch you guys on
the flip side.
The flip side. See y'all. God bless. Peace.
Bye, everyone.